demonstrate, yes, I know that you're suffering, but here, this is a flame, this is a light that God has put in each and every one of us since the moment we were born into this world. The blueprint in our DNA. I've always had this belief that it's not just the physical body, it's not just the color of your hair, eyes, the shape of our fingernails, but also in our DNA there is the unfoldment of peace in us, about how we realize our divinity. I don't believe every one of us are going to realize it exactly the same way, just as we're not exactly the same in our appearance. But to me, joy, ecstasy is the knowledge of that, the realization, by whatever word you see, you hear it. Samsara, enlightenment. The word is love. You have two people, seemingly, here's a finger, person to person. Can they feel love for one another? I don't mean like fall in love, soulmate. I mean, can you accept this finger as it is? And whatever foibles, whatever faults, wrongful actions, thoughts that you may have seen demonstrated in this finger, can you still love that person? Finger. But that's what love is. There are people I know that there are many, many times that I just do not want to be anywhere near them, but I love them for who they really are. And I don't mean personalities. Their personalities I just do not like. But I know that person is still my brother, sister, in us, the family of God. And if I haven't had enough sleep the night before, I may not demonstrate that. But sooner or later, I know somewhere in me, I know that I need to demonstrate to this person that he and I or she and I are the same at our essence, at our true life right there. The time is now. As I said before, the time to do anything is always in the immediate moment. It doesn't mean you should get up out of that chair, go give all your money away and everything. That's not renunciation. There's one really excellent teacher I've read before that real renunciation is giving up what does not work for you anymore. It doesn't mean that old broken TV you keep in the garage. But any thoughts of separation, of refusing to believe that this world has no joy, has no life in it, give that up. It's not working for you. Give it up. That's the one way to renunciate. One way to. There's many other different ways. I mean, if you find out you don't want a roof over your head, okay, get rid of your house then. I don't think anybody in here will do that, but that's okay. Harold and I have talked about, recently I've started the vegetarian diet. I'm not doing this for any kind of renunciation reason. I'm not going to look to be a monk. I'm just finding what works for me, what gives me more energy, if it can help me feel better, etc. That's just what I'm doing. That's the only reason I'm doing it, and I'm not going to say, well, this is the way you should be doing it too. No. That's not my purpose here. That's not what I should be doing, not what anybody should be doing, ever. If I did that, I'd just go ahead and be a Baptist. Sorry, Terry, brother. Okay. But now is the time to cultivate all the above: power, joy, love, peace. The one teacher I've quoted from before, he says, anger, fear is like a child in your arms starting to cry. I mean, do you just put if that happens, do you put the child aside and leave? No. You hold it. You try to comfort it as best as you can. You try to get the child to calm down. Assure it it's all right. It's all right. And in the case of a baby, of course, you feed it or change it. You take care of its needs. It's not encouraging the crying, the need for attention, but you just do what you can to help it and help it realize that you don't need to do that to get attention, that that child is loved. Notice something, Jesus did not overuse his power. I just had in my notes, I just realized. He had demonstrated. He worked, he demonstrated, but he didn't overuse it. He didn't just point up to the sky and say, okay, everybody throughout the land of Israel is now Christ. I've had talks, Harold too, before about this. I said, I believe he could have done that. I really believe it was in his ability to just reach up, snap his fingers, and everybody would suddenly be Christ. But Jesus trusted us to know all this that I've just told you and more. He told us this. All this you can do and more. But I think that shows a lot of trust. Anybody have any questions? Comments?
Because of his knowledge of the future too, because he knew that we would all ultimately return.
Yeah. All his sons shall one day reach his feet, no matter how far they stray. That's quite a powerful statement. All his sons shall one day reach his feet. Okay. Thank you all very much.